talk for me again?
Yo.
Stream is up.
Test.
You're good. Okay. Here we go. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video with Matt and Vin. Today we'll be going over a few things from game week 6 of the Premier League. But before we get into... We're coming at you.
No, erase that and change it to Matchday, because now you're saying game week, but making the title Matchday.
Oh, I never changed it in my thing. Good catch.
I think I caught that when I was listening to the preview of the podcast. I said game week, but we just changed it. So we changed it back, so it's fine.
I never changed my intro. Good call. Good call.
I like that we went back to Matchday, by the way. I actually had 2 people at work ask why we went to game week. They were confused. They were like, Matchday just seems better. And I'm like, oh, well, we've just got to try stuff. So, fuck yeah, try game week.
Got to throw shit at the wall and see if it sticks. All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video with Matt and Vin. Today we'll be going over a few things from match day 6 of the Premier League. But before we get into it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and check us out on Spotify and Twitter. It really helps push our content, and we greatly appreciate your support. All right, first we're going to get into Newcastle and Man City, the big game that started us off Saturday morning. I know you were up bright and early. I had a late night Friday night, not going to lie. I slept in and you texted me, yo, man, you see this game right now? And I was like, oh, my God, I can't believe I missed it. So,
yeah, I got it. I'm not going to lie. I hate the 7:30 kickoffs. Especially on a Saturday morning. The last thing you want to do is wake up that early. But I woke up full of life because I did have hope. I did have hope that we could get a result, which we did. A point is massive. A point against Man City is massive. We looked decent in spells. I mean, it wasn't a world-class performance by any means, but we played like a team. We were resilient. We went down not early in the first half. 35th minute, Gvardiol kind of just moseys on in and scores a goal. Defense was kind of sleeping. I guess nobody picked him up, but it was one of those weird kind of Pep Guardiola things where, like, why is Gvardiol in my 6-yard box type of thing? You know what I mean? Like, who's really actually supposed to be marking that guy that just trotted down the field and poked it in? I don't know. But we stuck together. We didn't have Isak, which was huge. Not having an actual out-and-out 9. We had Gordon in the middle, Murphy on one side, Harvey Barnes on the other side. He kind of had an off game. He didn't look like his usual self. So on the attack, we weren't really threatening. Tonali started. That was good. Tightened up the midfield a little bit. We continued the one thing, though. The one thing I noticed, and I'm starting to like, is we continued this Eddie Howe new tactic. Now Joel Linton is dropping back into becoming like a wing back when we go on defense. Remember last week or 2 weeks ago, we were talking about that weird 5-back with Joel Linton dropping in?
Yeah, I do remember that.
They continued it and did it again. They would drop Joel Linton into the back. So once a striker, now becoming a center back at times, but it's working.
Wow.
We got a penalty, and Gordon scored it. Great for his confidence, especially because he's right in the middle of contract talks, I think, right now, too, about a renewal and whatnot. So they had a tifo of him up. Huge for him to score the penalty, and I'm happy to walk away with a point. We also stopped Haaland. I think it's the first game Haaland didn't score. He was manhandled by Dan Burn. You were laughing at me before we started, but he was chested up by Dan Burn. Stop the disrespect.
So I hear you on all this. I'm going to say one thing. You remember how excited I was about Chelsea winning, which we'll get into. I honestly think you should be as excited as I was about the Chelsea game because this is massive. Do you remember before this weekend, you were like, yo, remember 2 years ago, that 3-3 draw with Man City? That's realistically what this is. Sure, it's not the same. It's not the flash and the, like, oh my God, look what we just did. But look what you just did. You just took a point off of Manchester City. And nobody's doing that right now. I mean, they're destroying people. Haaland is destroying people. And you guys really, especially, let's go further here, especially with the way your defense has been playing. Fulham just beat you 3-1 last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for your defense, for Dan Byrne, I mean, I don't want to pick on Dan Byrne, but for your defense and your team as a whole to play that way, it's honestly amazing. You remember a couple weeks ago, I told you these are the games that win Premier Leagues. These are also the games for Man City that lose Premier Leagues, because you see Arsenal fans excited. They won this weekend. That's huge for them. But you did that to them. I mean, Arsenal couldn't do that to them. Look what happened last week. So, again, that's why I always say that just before this video, I told you I still think Newcastle is underrated. I really do. They're supposed to be a good team, but I think they're underrated.
Well, one thing
you played without Isak, like everything, dude. It's actually unbelievable what you did this weekend. It really is.
It really is, and I'm definitely was excited about it. I was going nuts. The penalty was a penalty. I don't think there was any debate about that. But the one thing was after the game, going back and rewatching it, watching some views, listening to some people talk. This game, besides the actual outcome of the point, I think this is going to be the game that sparks our season. And I said this in the last video, in the last episode, that this could be like the start of our season. This could be something that gets us back on track, because we've been kind of washy a little bit, especially coming off of the defeat last week. But all the people, all the players, they bought in to what Eddie Howe wanted to do for this specific game tactically, and everyone performed their job how they were supposed to. Nobody overextended. Nobody was underwhelming in their role. What we did was reminiscent of what Arsenal did last week, where the compression was wildly tight. We dropped back. Joelinton dropped back into the 5 like we just talked about, but then what ended up happening was Murphy ended up kind of sliding towards the middle, leaving Gordon isolated. So then it kind of turned into like a 5-4-1. But it became super, super condensed in the middle of the field, where through spells of the game when we were defending, all of our midfielders were within the width of the 18-yard box. We were allowing them to go out wide because then our wingbacks were just picking up, or Joelinton was picking it up, Trippier was picking it up. We'll let them go out wide, but we stayed really condensed, where the Gundogan and when Foden came in and those center midfielders that they have and they rotate and they work in those weird kind of on the top of the 18 pockets right there in between the lines. We condensed like Arsenal did. We took a page out of the book. We condensed right there in the middle, and it made it really awkward for Man City to do the normal things that Man City did. Haaland was visibly frustrated. He wasn't able to get those piercing passes from the center mids like Gundogan, or when De Bruyne's in, he makes those bullet passes. You know the exact ones I'm talking about. Right to his feet, he just toe pokes it in. He wasn't able to get them because we want to know why. We had 4 people standing right in those spots. Mm-hmm. All the players buying into that is really encouraging to me, because for a while I didn't know what was really going on here. But if the players can hunker in and do their jobs and listen to Eddie Howe and tactically get that done, I think that's the start of our season. I think we could take off from here, barring whatever happens with Isak. I think he has a broken toe. That sucks. But we were able to do this without him. We still had 11 shots. We almost went toe-to-toe with shots on target without a striker, and we tied the game. Huge game for us. Massive. I'm very excited about it.
This game was won by Eddie Howe.
Tactical masterclass, in my opinion, but I don't know anything.
And you have, not you, but like Newcastle has these haters, these wild fans that hate on this man, and I've been telling you forever how good he is and how I wish he was the coach for Chelsea years ago. I'm happy where we are now, but I love that dude. I think he is an absolutely phenomenal manager and probably the best English manager in the world. So that's where I stand on it. He doesn't deserve the hate. We saw it yesterday.
Well, speaking of you guys and where you guys are at, you had another. Whew.
All right. Well, let's start off here, right here. I'm just gonna say it. Cole Palmer, ice cold Palmer, right now is the best player in the world. He is. I'm saying it.
They did a segment on the radio I was listening to today, and you want to know, that's becoming the popular trending thing, that most people are saying that, yes, he is the best player in the world right at this particular moment in time.
I mean, if you think about all these players who are in form, I don't know if there's anybody that's in better form than Cole Palmer. Maybe Haaland. It's Haaland and Cole Palmer. They are the two best informed players in the world right now. Yeah, we can look at Real Madrid and Mbappe and Vinny Jr. I mean, Mbappe is not doing as well as Cole Palmer and Haaland. That's not even a question. But like, you can look at all these players right now in the last 2 months since the season has really kicked off. Nobody has been better in the entire world than Cole Palmer. We're not going to talk about Haaland. Screw it. He doesn't exist. Cole Palmer is the best player in the world.
I mean, I can get behind it.
And if he was on a team that won something last season, I think he should be winning the Ballon d'Or. The only reason he doesn't deserve to win the Ballon d'Or is because we finished where we finished. We didn't win anything. I mean, even if we won the EFL Cup, we went to a final. We had to win something. He had to do better. I don't know. I don't know. I think he does. He does deserve it. He's the best player in the world, but he didn't win anything, so he's not going to, and he doesn't have a chance. But if he plays this good for the rest of the season, whether we win something or not, he deserves a Ballon d'Or next season, because I don't think I've ever. The only other person I've seen play like this would be like Messi and Ronaldo, and they didn't play like this. It was a very different style of play. But that's just how good he looks right now. He literally looks like on the levels of Messi and Ronaldo in their peak. It's like you turn on the TV and you're just waiting for something to happen. It's just a show. It's literally like a freak show. You're like, oh, let's see what's going to happen today. The game, going back to the game, we didn't even get there yet. I mean, first of all, the game was wild. I didn't even know what the score was going to end up being. The announcers were saying there's going to be 9 goals today. Cole Palmer scores 1. He gets the penalty. And yeah, I don't even remember what the score was at that time. But he gets the penalty, he scores it. And as soon as he scores, which was only like 5 minutes after the first goal, I was like, oh, he's scoring a hat trick before the end of the first half. He scores 4 before the end of the first half. 4. I mean, we saw that last night in the Red Bulls game, the New York Red Bulls game. But that's the thing, right? We got slaughtered. Now imagine if one player did that. And the whole thing is like everyone watching knows, like, oh yeah, this guy's he's gonna do this. And then he does it. And it's like, oh my God. There's a meme going around about him.
Well, did you see that he told the advertisers or one of the marketing people to record a commercial or record an advertisement of him doing a celebration for 4 goals? That's how confident he was. And they recorded it, and now they get to run it on TV. I'm sure it's on all the commercials right now in the UK.
Dude, he's insane. I watched his post-game interview, and it's like it's laughable. He's so nonchalant, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm kind of mad because I should have had 5." Like, bro,
thanks, Cole.
What? He is ice cold, bro. He does not give a shit. He just wants to play and play his game. I could only imagine what Pep says to himself at night. I'm sure at first he was like, I don't care, good for him. But now he sees that and he's like, oh my God.
No, he might not, dude.
Yeah, he has to, bro. He's the best player in the world, dude. He sold the best player in the world for 40 mil, bro.
And Pep Guardiola is literally
I don't care.
More silverware this year than Cole
Imagine
Palmer
if he had both.
But here's the thing.
They didn't have to sell Cole Palmer.
Great managers like Pep Guardiola know when players are going to be good. Pep Guardiola got rid of Cole Palmer. It's not like he got rid of him and didn't know that he was going to be great.
I know Cole Palmer wanted to go.
And because I don't know if Cole Palmer's the type of player that would actually thrive in a Pep system. Like you just said it yourself.
You're true.
Cole Palmer wants to play Cole Palmer's football, and he wants to go out and have fun. And it's almost like every time he plays, he's playing street ball. Pep Guardiola hates that. One of the reasons he hated Zlatan was because he hated that was Zlatan's kind of philosophy where I'm going to go out there and do my game and win.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not. I think that's half the reason Pep didn't get rid of him like, oh, this guy stinks, I'm getting rid of him. Pep probably didn't want to or knew that he was mad good, but he wasn't a Man City player. I can't see him being on Man City.
You're true. Yeah, you're very correct. You're absolutely correct.
Especially because, lastly, just to say, especially because Cole Palmer doesn't seem like a Jack Grealish where he's willing to give that individuality up.
No.
To play for Man City, where Jack Grealish used to be really explosive, and now he's a back tap merchant.
Well, you
that
see
would never
that
be Palmer. He would never do that.
You could take one example. The beginning of last season, he was in the Community Shield. You remember he came in and scored the game winner, or not the game winner or something. He scored because I don't think they won last season, but they won this season. But he scored a goal, and he came down, cut inside, and curled one in far post. And that's not how Man City play. They pass, opening, curl one in far post. No, he came down and just beat his man, cut inside, and whipped one. And that's how he plays. And you're right, that's not how Man City plays. So I could see Pep being like, you can't do this. You can't, yes, you scored a great goal, but you can't do this every game. Because like you said, Jack Grealish used to play like that, and he doesn't anymore. Going back to the game, though, itself, man, we look amazing going forward. But holy shit, dude, we are so bad in the back. And I mean, it's the way we play. We leave two guys back. You have two defenders, and there's, 8 guys forward? And that's why we look so disgusting. But I don't know how you can sustain this. How can you do this against Manchester City? We saw we couldn't. I mean, it's our first game. We're becoming a much different team now than we were when we played Man City. So we'll have to see when we play another big team. I'm sure there's one coming up soon. But we absolutely cannot defend like this. It's so bad.
Or, the flip side could be maybe next time you do play Man City or when you play Arsenal or you play a big team, maybe you slaughter them.
Maybe we score 5, yeah. I don't know.
Do you see Man City stopping, like you said, an 8-person attack?
I don't know if anyone can stop our attack right now.
That's what I mean. So if Man City scores 2 and you score 4, you win.
We have one of the scariest... We have one of the scariest teams going forward. Yeah, not the scariest, but one of the scariest in form, right? One of the scariest in form teams going forward right now. It's wild. 5 weeks ago, if I said that, I would laugh at myself. There's not a chance. So it's pretty unreal where we are right now. It's so awesome to watch, though. I have to say, it is so awesome to watch. Because, once they start flowing, it's like, there's another one coming. There's another one coming.
You can feel it.
Oh, yeah. It's unbelievable. But again, you can't let those 2 goals in. So, who else? Nicholas Jackson. I want to talk about Nicholas Jackson. Multiple times, Nicholas Jackson could have taken a shot, but he knows he sucks at finishing. And he also knows my good buddy, Cole Palmer, is right over there. And at this point, it's also like, this guy's on your team. It's like, I just want to give him the ball. Just give him the ball. Right? I'm going to make a play, and I'm going to look for Cole Palmer. And that's what he does now. And we would not have scored those goals if it wasn't for Nicholas Jackson being selfless. So shout out to Nicholas Jackson, dude. He's really becoming a smart striker, a very smart striker. He does still need to work on his finishing, and he'll get there. He's still really young. But, man, again, 5-6 weeks ago, I had faith in Nicholas Jackson, but I think he's really becoming something. And you've been telling me this for years, that he has the potential. And it's starting to come out. He's starting to, like Haaland. Haaland's starting to, I'm not comparing Haaland to Nicholas Jackson. I want to say that. Don't murder me, please. He's starting to, get different parts of his game in place. He's starting to figure it out. He's starting to be more well-rounded. He's not a one-dimensional striker. And I mean, Nicholas Jackson wasn't a very good one-dimensional striker either, so he's really starting to become a much better, well-rounded striker. That's the difference. Haaland was an insane one-dimensional striker, still is. But yeah, again, same thing I said the last couple of weeks. At the end of the day, I don't care how it looks. I don't care if it's close, if it's a massive gap. 3 points is 3 points, baby. And I mean, what place am I in right now? Oh, it's a beautiful thing. 4th place. Chelsea are in 4th place right now. I cannot believe that.
We
and
should be.
Yeah, we should be, but I still can't believe that. And honestly, I think we're here to stay. I really think Chelsea are going to finish in a European spot this season, of course. And, man, I predicted us to finish 10th place. So I'm just happy. Man, I've been through some hell the last couple of years, and I'm so excited to watch Chelsea every week. So I can't wait till next week. On that note, let's go through the rest of the games. We had Brentford West Ham 1-1. West Ham again, Vinny. They cannot get 3 points.
Yeah, I don't even have any words. They're not good.
They need to figure it out. That's that simple. They need to figure it out because it's not going to look good for them. On that note, a team that is maybe figuring it out, Everton wins 2-1 over Crystal Palace.
Massive win for them. Massive win. Honestly. That guy, Dwight McNeil, goals. And it's funny because the past 2 weeks, what Everton has lost from a winning position, lost. This is the first time they were in a losing position and won. So
yeah, right.
Good for them. But on the flip side, Crystal Palace is like, dude, Mark Gay, he's probably wishing he was on Newcastle right now.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just saying, because I don't know. Is it really possible that a team could crumble like this just by losing one player? Obviously, I'm sure they lost other players, and I haven't looked at their transfers, but losing Elise really make you now a relegation battle team when you just finished in the top half last year?
I mean, they drew with us, but I think we played like shit that game.
We're literally in 17th right now. Eze is like not really the Eze of last year. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's hard. Maybe he's the type of player that needed a sidekick, and now that Elise's not there, I don't really know what's happening at Crystal Palace. Good for Everton.
Yeah,
I'm glad they got a win. Huge for them. Crystal Palace though, this weird slide that they're on right now. Like I said, they're in 17th, man. They're in a relegation spot right now.
Yeah, it's not good. Not good.
No.
All right, next game. Arsenal beat Leicester City 4-2. I mean, I do not care. I don't hate Arsenal, but I don't like them. But wow, good for them. 4-2. Man City draw 1-1 with you. They need these games. They just lost to Man City last week, so it doesn't close the gap.
Arsenal
but
drew with Man City.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. They drew, but right. They needed this. They win. Get that 3 points.
Almost scary though. It was almost scary.
Yeah, you're right. That weren't they down 2-0 at first?
No, there was like an own goal in there. Arsenal.
I didn't watch the game. You were telling me about it though.
I think they were up 2-0, and then there was 2-0 for Leicester, and then Leicester scored an own goal to make it 3, and then I think Havertz scored. Maybe what does it say here? Yeah, Havertz scored in like the 100th minute.
Shout out to Kai Havertz. Good for him. Happy he's figuring his game out and he's found a place that loves and accepts him and he can thrive in. So good for him.
The stats for this game though, because I had to pull them up and look earlier. So I had them up, and dude, they make me laugh every time I look. Arsenal 36 shots to 5. To 5, bro.
That game should have been 6-2.
On target.
8-2. That's wild.
Almost 700 passes to 230.
Shout out to Leicester for only losing by 2 goals.
Dude, and the only reason they did was a 94th minute own goal and a 99th minute Kai Havertz goal. It was 2-2.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that. Wow. Okay, so Arsenal, that's a huge game for Arsenal then. Good for them.
Yeah, they stuck it out. Yeah, so that was a game for them.
Good for them. All right, well, Fulham beat Nottingham Forest 1-0. I have absolutely nothing to say about that game. Other than Fulham, dude, that's 2 wins in a row for them. They beat you. Fulham's in like 6th or 7th place, right?
And I think the other thing is that Raul Jimenez 4-game scoring streak. I believe this is the 4th game in a row he scored.
Fulham is in 6th right now with 11 points.
Yeah, they're ahead of me. I'm in 7th.
Good for them. Okay.
Yeah, Jimenez has been on a tear.
Next game, Liverpool beat Wolves 2-1. Did not see that game either. I'm not gonna lie, but Liverpool are top of the table right now, dude. Did not expect that at the beginning of the season. They look good.
Speaking of Jimenez, I'm sure the Wolves wish they still had him because they're actually abysmal. They're horrible. Dude, they have like a negative 11 goal differential,
Wow.
0 wins. They're in 20th place. Like they might actually be in complete and utter free fall right now. It's bad.
That's wild. I didn't even realize that. They are in 20th place. That's crazy. Okay.
All the teams, all the teams that, because the next game up is the Ipswich game, right?
Yes.
So Ipswich, Aston Villa draw 2-2, right? So this is perfect. This is exactly what I'm getting at.
What a game, by the way. That's insane.
Wild game. Everyone knows I'm a secondary
die-hard Ipswich fan. Don't lie to the fans here.
No, but the relegation teams right now is Crystal Palace, Southampton, and Wolves. Only one of those teams were teams that we predicted would be in a relegation spot. Now, granted, it's only match day 6,
it's so early,
but it is weird to think about. And then you see this result: Ipswich 2, Aston Villa 2.
Yeah, dude.
Won a game, but that's a win. That's a goddamn win, and it was a comeback win. Delap scored in like the 75th minute to draw it level. Delap on a brace, 72nd minute.
That game is just like the Premier League. That's if you looked up the Premier League in the dictionary and there was just like a video, it'd be that game. Because Ipswich Town should never be drawing 2-2 with Aston Villa and the team they are right now, especially with the run that they're on and the position that they're in and the players they have. But wow, I love the Premier League because of games like that.
Ipswich Town is staying in. I predicted it and I'm calling it.
They are. You're right. They are.
Delap right now is playing out of his mind. That second goal that he scored. Now someone's going to be like, all right, calm down, Vin. And I agree. I'll calm down after I make this statement. Delap's second goal looked like goddamn Militao when Inter Milan beat Bayern Munich. He literally took this ball, step over with the right foot, hard cut with the left, buries it. Exactly like Militao did in the Champions League final for Bayern Munich. Now, what does that mean? It does not mean that Delap is Militao, obviously. But what it does mean is he's in a crazy form right now. And when a player gets in a hot form, when a player, look at Chelsea and Cole Palmer, when a player gets in a wild form like this, what if they could start turning this into 3-2? All of a sudden, Ipswich maybe gets a draw this week, a win next week, maybe another draw. I think they just had a draw previously with Brighton, right? All of a sudden, you're like, wait a minute. Ipswich is unbeaten in 4. It's possible. It's not like they look really good, dude. Calvin Phillips looks good. Like, I like Ipswich. I think they're playing great, and I was happy about this result.
You know that game is huge for Ipswich confidence. Huge. So who knows what we're going to see from them next. And our last game, we have 2 more games, but only one was played. Manchester United, Tottenham. And I didn't know what to expect here. I figured, dude, maybe this is it. Like, because, watching Manchester United's like flipping a coin. You never know what you're going to get. You have no idea. It's a 50-50 shot whether they're going to win 3-0 or lose 3-0. Well, today they lost 3-0. And to Tottenham, too. And before we get into Manchester United, Tottenham looked great. I mean, I don't love Tottenham. I'm a Chelsea fan. I'm not allowed to love Tottenham. But I love some of their players, man, and they are fun to watch. I said it last week, and I think the week before. Kulusevski is sick, dude. He is sick. He is underrated, so fun to watch, and honestly, I think he's about as good, if not better, than Son is right now. So, man, I love that dude. Madison. Oh my God, bro. He is looking better and better every week. He's just getting into the prime of his career, and I cannot imagine what's going to happen in the next couple of years if he can continue to get better and better. And I mean, he plays for England too, so that's another crazy player that can break into that England squad. I mean, he already kind of is. Who else? Johnson. Brennan Johnson. That dude is sick too. He was just some dude that I really didn't know, and he was playing good. Saw him play a couple times so far this year, and I was like, yeah, it's good player. I saw that first goal this game and the way he was playing, and dude, he is a really good player. And I think having all those really high-level forwards in there is just bringing everyone up, right? Like, and everyone's got to fight for a position too, so that's good for them. It's good for them. And then Solanke's there playing striker, so none of these, like Son doesn't have to play center forward, and none of them have to worry about playing that number 9 position. Tottenham looks sick, dude. I'm honestly a little worried because they could go off and beat anyone. But yeah, I mean, they also did play Manchester United, and Manchester United did not look very good. So maybe they play a couple other big teams and they don't look like that. But
well, yeah, I was
fun
gonna
to
say,
watch.
I feel like I get your sentiment, but no, I don't agree at all. No, I don't. I don't agree at all. Yeah, I think Tottenham's good, but I don't think that this has proven anything. I mean, their first goal was Venter Ven on Tottenham literally took the ball and dribbled it like 75 yards in a straight line. Not a single Manchester United person got near him.
He did beat the two guys at the very end of the run, and I think that did kind of throw off Onana. Onana didn't look like he was ready for that dude to break through those last.
Like he knows how to play goalie. Honestly, I was so upset about that goal because I watched it and
I was wondering when you were going to get into it.
Right into it. Okay, I know people be like, oh, well, it's going across, and whatever Dallo is supposed to be back there guarding.
Oh, Diego Dallo, yeah. He did not track his man back at all in that first goal. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't at all. But
it was his fault.
Onana was Johnson. Like 6 inches away from the ball. That was right at his feet. All he had to do was stick out any part of his body.
He did go like this.
All he had to do was do anything. Literally
anything. I mean,
maybe even breathe. He could have breathed and it might have even just threw the ball off, but he just watched. He just did nothing. He just did absolutely nothing. So I think maybe Tottenham is, Tottenham's Tottenham. They're trending in a
No, dude, they're good, bro. I'm telling you. They could look scary. They got some really good players.
They have really good players, and they have an idea, which something Man United doesn't have. Postecoglou has an idea.
Man, you have no idea.
I don't.
Eric Ten Hag has no idea.
No, but you want to know something funny? Actually, right before this game started, my buddy Amadou, he's a Tottenham fan. Mm-hmm. So I texted him. He texted me something saying, like, watch, he's going to lose today. Right before the game started, he's like, oh, Tottenham's going to lose today on, like, some dumb last-minute goal. And I was like, no, this is my exact text. At 10:28, exact words that I said to him. Ready? Nah, Johnson's going to get a hat trick. He didn't get a hat trick, but he scored. Dude, I kid you not. Bruno Fernandes red card. It's literally what I texted him right before this game started, which actually ended up happening.
A little harsh. But anyway, yeah.
Then I made a joke about Casemiro's going to become the Man United head coach. And Ten Hag's going back to the Netherlands. 3 of those things almost happened. one of them did happen. Ten Hag might actually be not the Man U coach anymore. Casemiro might be old enough to become the new head coach. I might have hit every single one of them on the head before the game even started.
You should have made a bet.
Dude, if I would have bet Bruno Fernandes red card, then he'd be suspended for probably gamble tampering. It'd be Bruno Paqueta.
Hell yeah, dude. Good old
yeah, Man U's garbage. And honestly,
Sandro Tonali.
The first goal they scored was Marcus Rashford's fault, and I don't care if that's a hot take. I'm pretty sure he was like dribbling the ball and just dribbled it right into Van der Ven, who then dribbled it 70 yards the other direction.
Yeah, it was pretty sloppy. And then he also, not even like, I think it was 15 minutes later, he hits the post. Or no, he hits the post. He shoots the ball right at the keeper. This goes back to our initial conversation weeks ago about he's a confidence player. He has zero confidence. He can't finish because he has no confidence. I mean, I don't even know. How is he going to get any confidence playing with that team, playing in that system? There's no chance.
It's over for them. So I don't think that Man U's got anything left. They're going to be a very bad team.
All right, well, I really have nothing left to say, so let's finish up. We got Bournemouth, Southampton tomorrow. That is not that crazy of a game. I'm sure for some people it is. If you're a Bournemouth or Southampton fan, good luck to you, my friend. But yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of like crazy European games this week or something. There's got to be, dude. There's just so many games going on right now. So make sure everyone checks out some games this week. Next week, we got, let's see, any big games? Aston Villa, Manchester United. That's a pretty big game. That is a pretty big game. Looks like you're playing Everton. That's a big game for Everton. And I am playing Nottingham Forest. So that's not a big game for me, but they're pretty good this season so far, and I mean, we're pretty good. Let's hope Cole Palmer scores 5 in the first half. So, shout out to Cole Palmer, man. Best player in the world. 4 in the first half of the Premier League. Only player in Premier League history to score 4 goals in the first half. Let's go, baby. Keep that blue flag flying high.
Well, I don't even have a natural goal scorer on my squad, so it's fine.
It's all right. You're playing Everton.
Everton's on a hot streak, baby. They scored twice. It's over.
Maybe they'll score 2, and then you'll score 3 in the last 7 minutes of the game. We'll see. All right. Well, anything else? You good?
No, I'm good. I got nothing.
All right. That's it. One more thing. Only 1 red card this week. Shout out to the refs. We're toning it down a little bit. However,
I rigged that red card. That's why I called it.
However, it did have a massive outcome on the game. They were down 1-0. They get a red card. They go to 3-0. This does further bring it to another week where the referees determine maybe that they don't determine, but they affect the outcome of a game. It wasn't that crazy of a red card. It really wasn't. I mean, he kind of slipped. I understand his foot was high, blah, blah, blah. People will argue. Regardless, the referees, again, affect the outcome of a game. So we'll see next week if they do it again. All right, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, Twitter, Twitch, the Instagram Vinny's going to make. I'm going to keep saying it until he makes one.
Working on it.
He's not working on it. But if we stay strong and we harass him enough, he will do it for the people. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Again, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next.